Hello everyone, I am Rohit Dashpute, Faculty of Microbiology from the college SVKT Devali Camp, Nashik. Okay, so today the session agenda is the downstream fermentation process. Okay, so this lecture is generally for the third year BSc students. Okay, the sixth semester. Okay, in this lecture we will be discussing about the downstream fermentation process. Then in case of downstream fermentation process, there are different methods of protein purification, or say generally the purification. So, and these methods are generally based on the different characteristics like the molecular size, the shape, the solubility difference. Okay. So, based on the different categories, there are the certain methods of purifications. So, generally the downstream fermentation process includes the recovery of our fermentation products. Okay. We know that the fermentation process and the upstream process. The upstream process includes right from the beginning of fermentation process, that is the selection of strains. Then there are several properties of strain selection. Then the inoculum development is there, that is to increase the size of inoculum from slant to the seeded tank, that is on the slant tube to the liters of inoculum. Okay. Then the next step is to add that inoculum into the fermentation tank, okay, which will be previously added with the production media, that is the sterilized production media, and this production media is different for the different strain and different for the different fermentation products. So, as the fermentation process completes, and till this process, this is known as the upstream process. Now, as the fermentation process are completed, that is the product is formed, then the recovery process is generally categorized into the downstream process. Okay, right from the isolation or the separation of our product from that particular fermentation tank to the that is on the market or in commercial basis, okay, that is packing, and then distribution of our product that different particular agencies and retailers. Okay. So, this includes the downstream fermentation process. So, in case of fermentation media or in case of our fermentation tank, it includes the number of nutrients, the number of chemicals, that is the strain, that is microbial load, then the fermentation media, okay, which includes the number of nutrients, the number of factors, and finally the fermentation product, that is desired product is formed upon the ending of upstream process. So, for recovery of that product, we have to discuss some methods like the methods of protein purification. So, this includes the recovery process. Say for example, a product is protein, like the different enzymes are there like amylases, esterases, lipases. Okay. So, suppose these enzymes are proteins in nature. So, suppose say example is amylase. So, we have to purify that enzymes or purify that protein on the basis of certain parameters. Okay. And one of the parameters that we will going to discuss in today's lecture, that is based on molecular size. Okay. So, based on molecular size, there are different methods like dialysis is there, the gel filtration chromatography is there, and ultra filtration technique is there. Okay. So, we will go by one. So, the learning objectives to understand the downstream process. Okay. So, we have already discussed what is downstream process and what is difference between the upstream process and downstream process. So, the next objective is to understand the methods of purification based on various properties. Okay, like the first property is the based on molecular size. So, the first one is dialysis. Okay, you may heard this dialysis word in treatment of kidney failure. Okay, so that the principle behind that technique and behind this is generally similar. So the dialysis, it's a Greek word, come from the Greek word the dialysis. Okay, it means the dissolution. Dia means lysis and lysis means losing, that is dissolution of certain components. So it is the process of separating molecules in solution by difference in their rates of diffusion through a semi permeable membrane. Okay, so the important thing in this dialysis technique is the semi permeable membranes. Okay, so this includes the membrane which allowed certain particles to come and go across that particular membrane, and it will block the passage of certain molecules across that semi permeable membrane. So dialysis is a technique of separating molecules in the solution by the difference in their rates of diffusion. For example, say the CO2 gas example. Okay, the best property of gases is it is diffusible, and the rate of diffusion is different in different materials. Like the gases, the rate of diffusion is different, the water molecule it will be different, the salt solution it will be different, and any other of materials. So the most application of dialysis is for the removal of unwanted small molecules. Okay, as we are discussing about the downstream process. Okay, the first step is recovery, and we know that in our fermentation tank the number of nutrients, the number of chemicals, the number of factors are already there. So we have to separate our desired fermented product from all the small and large molecules. So the dialysis is generally used for, and the application of the dialysis is the removal of unwanted small molecules. For example, the salts are there which are reducing agents or dyes from the larger molecules. For example, the proteins, DNA or polysaccharides. Okay. So generally polysaccharides are nothing but the carbon sources for the microbial strain. Okay, and if the microbial strain or the microbial cell is destroyed, or it may get lyse during the fermentation process. So it may includes the larger molecules like the proteins, DNA and polysaccharides. So it is commonly used for the buffer exchange. So the principle, again the principle behind this dialysis is the Brownian movement, that is the diffusion is the random movement of molecules in the solution. We do not know where the molecules will going to die. Okay, it will not like the straight path that from molecule A to molecule B. So the Brownian movement is, it is the random movement of molecules. Okay, it can go here and there, it not follow the straight path. So the movement of molecules which moves from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration. Okay, until the equilibrium is reached. Okay, the equilibrium is a concept where the molecules from the one part is same as to the molecules on the another part. Okay, for example, we have the 10 molecules inside the one cell. Okay, and only 5 molecules inside or outside the cell. So the movement of molecules from higher concentration to the lower concentration until the equilibrium is reached. So in dialysis, a sample and buffer solution, which also known as the dialysate, are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, okay, that causes the differential diffusion patterns, okay, and it will be permitting the separation of molecules in both sample and dialysate. Okay, here you can see or you can understand with the help of this figure. So here at the start of dialysis, okay, this is the dialysis membrane, okay, you may see there, which is wrapped, and it includes the number of molecules. The small molecules, okay, are represented by the red color, and the larger molecules, it may be our fermentation product, fermentation desired product, that we have to separate or we have to recover that product from our fermentation tank. So, with the help of this dialysis technique, the red molecules which are smaller and as compared to the blue molecules which are larger. Okay. In case of solvent, there is not a single red molecules, that is there is not single small molecule. So, as we know here, in case of the movement of molecules from area of higher concentration to area of lower concentration. So, here inside the dialysis membrane, the higher concentration of small molecules is there. So, it will diffuse from the high concentration to low concentration, okay, till the equilibrium is reached. So, here in case of B, it is the position of equilibrium. So, we will concentrate the, so by this dialysis technique, the concentration is takes place, means separation as well as the concentration of product. So, here the enzymes can be separated from small molecules, for example, salts, some minerals, or the molecules that will going to interfere with the product purity. So, that may be separated by the dialysis, okay. And the important thing in case of this dialysis is through a semi-permeable membrane, okay, and this semi-permeable membrane may be produced or may be obtained from the cellulose membrane with pores, and these pores will allow only the small molecules to pass across. So, the protein mixture is placed inside the dialysis bag, which is then submerged in buffer solution. As you may see here, okay, it contains the protein, the dialysis bag which contains the protein inside it. So, the molecules having dimensions significantly greater than the pore diameter are retained inside the dialysis bag, okay. So, dialysis technique is generally used for the separation of molecules from the smaller molecules, okay. So, here the only smaller molecules will going to pass or will going to move across that dialysis membrane, okay, and the larger molecules will be retained inside that membrane. So, the smaller molecules and ions capable of passing through the pores of that membrane diffuse down their concentration gradient, that is higher concentration to lower concentration, okay. You may observe here inside the dialysis bag the concentration is very high, and outside that bag or in that beaker there is no single small molecule. So, obviously, it will move from higher concentration, that is from inside the bag to that particular beaker, okay. Then the second technique includes under the methods of purification based on molecular size, okay. It is also known as the molecular exclusion chromatography or gel filtration, okay. The size exclusion chromatography technique is generally or it also known as the molecular exclusion chromatography or gel filtration. Again, as we discussed under the heading, that is the separation of molecules by molecular size. So, it separates the proteins according to size. So, here the two phases are there. The first one is stationary phase and second one is mobile phase. So, stationary phase, it will going to stationary or it will going to bound to that particular wall, okay. It may be porous beads, it is made up of the porous beads, and that beads are made up of Cephadex or Cephalus, okay. We also call it as the Cephadex column or Cephalus column. Then the mobile phase, that is buffer. For example, the tetrahydrofuran, chloroform or dimethylformamide, okay. So, the mobile phase is buffer, okay. We just it is also known as the elution buffer. So, again the gel filtration chromatography, also known as size exclusion or molecular exclusion chromatography. So, the beads are made up of the insoluble but highly hydrated polymer. For example, the dextran or agarose or polyacrylamide. Then the sample is applied at the top of the column consisting of porous beads in that buffer. Then the small molecules of sample can enter these beads, but larger one cannot. Okay, you may understand by this figure clearly. So here suppose that blue is one of the beads, okay, and it beads contains the pores. So and we have the solution or we have the mixture of contaminants or small molecules and our desired product. For example, the sample proteins that pass around the resin beds, and the salts and small molecules flow through resin beds. So here the larger molecules, okay, so they do not enough to pass through that particular bits, okay, so they will move around that resin bit, but it will not go into that resin bit. So the proteins flow faster through the column, okay. As we know, this is the separation techniques based on molecular size. So the larger molecules, that is proteins, will come faster through the column, okay, as compared to the small molecules, because the small molecules will going to, and it has to pass through the larger distance, okay. The certain bits are there, so they will be passed across the number of bits, but in case of larger molecules they will move around the resin bit. So the gel filtration, the similar thing. Here the mixture you can observe at the right side of the figure, that is flow direction, that is upwards to downwards direction, okay. Then the protein sample, the molecular exclusion gel is there, okay. So the first gel is eluted, then second one the larger molecule, okay, the first molecule will be separated as a larger molecules, then the medium size molecules, and then small molecules, okay. So here the beads are carbohydrate polymer bead, and the small molecules will going to enter the aqueous species within the beads, okay, and the larger molecules cannot enter the beads, okay. As we see here also, the larger molecules are not enough in big size, so they cannot enter through the molecular beads. So this is the gel filtration chromatography figure. A mixture of proteins in small volume is applied to a column filled with a porous beads. Because the large proteins cannot enter the internal volume of beads, so they emerge sooner than do the small ones. So the first thing elution or the first elution will be of larger molecules, that is our desired molecules, okay. Then the third technique of separation of molecules on the basis of molecular size is ultrafiltration. So it is used for protein concentration, in which the water and low molecular weight materials are removed from the protein by passing it through a membrane in a inert atmosphere or under pressure, okay. The ultrafiltration, so there will be one of the tank, then the protein sample molecule is forced through the certain by means of any gases or by means of any mechanical pressure. So it will be forcibly passed through the membrane, so it can get ultrafiltrated. So the protein is retained and does not pass through the membrane, as we know that the protein is generally bigger in size as compared to the another molecule. So it will be retained upwards to the membrane, okay, and the small molecules, the contaminants and the other molecules will obviously pass through that membrane, okay, and we have our desired product on the upper side of membrane. Generally the membranes with molecular weight cutoffs from 1000 to 1 lakh kilodalton, okay. So the weight of that membrane should be 1000 to 1 lakh kilodalton, okay, which are available and which can be used under pressure up to 2 megapascal, okay, and the pressure is measured in Pascal. So the protein solution, okay, you may understand by this figure. So here the protein solution is placed, okay, in a beaker, and the pressure, the N2 pressure, it is 4 to 5 atmosphere. Then at the bottom of that container the membrane is there, okay, and you may see that the filter is passing, okay. So our product is retained onto the membrane. So all liquid, the small molecules will going to pass through the membrane, only the desired protein, our fermentation product, will be trapped inside, or will be it just retained onto the filter or that particular membrane, okay. Here we use the pressure, okay. So and this principle behind it, ultrafiltration. So the inert gas, for example nitrogen, is passed continuously through the stirrer, okay, which can force the water and low molecular weight materials through the membrane. So it procedures for concentration of laboratory column eludes are commonly used, and for large scale this so this ultracentrifugation is a ultrafiltration, sorry, it is ultrafiltration. So the ultrafiltration is a technique which generally used for the small scale, okay, or lab scale fermentation or the lab scale recovery of fermentation media, okay. But in case of large scale, so it may be possible that the membrane will not able to filter the large volumes properly, or the membrane it may get blocks or it may get destroyed. So the ultrafiltration is techniques generally used for the smaller volumes of sample, okay. So that's all about the today's lecture. So we have discussed the downstream processes, what is upstream and what is downstream process, then the separation of molecules on the basis of their molecular size, okay. In next lecture we will discuss about by their ion exchange property, by their the charge property, or by their solubility difference, okay. So the assignment is there, you have to draw the neat and label diagram of ultrafiltration, size exclusion chromatography, and then just enlist the different types of protein purification methods, okay. Thank you.